Welcome into BLTV Channel 6. I'm Brian Kell. We've reached out to many of the candidates throughout our service territory area that find themselves in some very hotly contested races, and this is one of those interviews, and this is one of those races. We have with us at the table Mark Evans, who is running for Van Buren County Sheriff. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm actually the Republican-nominated candidate running for the office of sheriff in Van Buren County. I'm the son of retired sheriff, Van Buren County Sheriff Donnie Evans. My mother was the late Leanne Smith. Honestly, I've actually even had a brother, Barney Evans, that was a sheriff as well. I've got approximately 24 years of law enforcement experience. 20 of those years was in working for the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department. I currently work for the White County Sheriff's Department, where I'm the captain over the Criminal Investigations Division and the administrator over their sex offender registry.
Gotcha. Hey, recently a Metro Nashville lawmaker announced she would introduce a resolution urging the Metro Nashville Police Department to make enforcement of the abortion ban a low priority, quote unquote. What are your thoughts on lawmakers pushing for low priority enforcement of laws to police departments? And I guess the second part of this would be, do you have certain laws that you place as low priority on enforcement?
Well, so I think the lawmaker's job should end with actually making the law. Once that's over with, or whatever their job should be done, I don't think they should dictate on what law should be enforced and what shouldn't. Honestly, I can't really think of anything or whatever right now that I would consider as a low priority law. However, I do foresee some coming down the pipeline in the future, such as hate speech bills and stuff of that nature. Because unfortunately we live in a society now where if you say something that offends somebody, they get a little hurt by it or whatever, and I foresee that being something in the future or whatever that definitely will not be on my high priority list.
What role should the Sheriff's Department play in when it comes down to successfully promoting public safety?
Well, I think the Sheriff's Department and all law enforcement agencies should play an important role in promoting public safety. I think we should be in our schools, promoting drug awareness and education. I think as well as in the facilities, in our jailhouses, providing some education and stuff to the inmates and the staff there at the Sheriff's Department, as well as doing public service notices, telling about scams and drugs and different things of that nature, whatever that could potentially harm the citizens of the county.
What are your view of alternatives to incarceration, such as diversion into mental health or addiction treatment programs as a way of promoting public safety?
Well, I'm all for it, because I'll be honest, going to jail or being arrested is not always the best answer, and especially in a lot of situations or whatever, it's not the long-term answer, because unfortunately because the drug addictions and things of that nature or whatever nowadays, mental health is a big concern. And honestly, or whatever, those people, if we're looking for the long-term effect, those type of people, instead of being locked up and incarcerated and receiving no help whatsoever, they would benefit more by going to a mental health treatment facility or going to a drug rehabilitation facility or whatever, where they can actually get the help that they need. That way, when they are back out, they can become active, productive members of society, versus, a burden on society by just, the recidivism going over and over and being locked up time and time again.
The recent shooting in Uvalde, Texas, has caused many parents to question local police forces on the response to a situation involving a shooter at a school. What can you say to parents watching now to assure them of your department's response to that type of situation should you become sheriff in Van Buren County?
Well, I'll be honest, I've never been one that wants to play armchair quarterback and watch what others do and critique them. However, those officers in Uvalde, I'll be honest, they were stinking a nostril to all law enforcement agencies throughout the world. I'll be honest, if you're, I mean, matter of fact, those officers there should have taken the same oath that me and every other officer in the state of Tennessee takes to protect and serve the citizens of that county. And if you're not willing to lay down your life for an innocent child, you have no place or whatever working in law enforcement. If for lack of better terms, if you're chicken crap, don't get into law enforcement, because we take that oath to lay down our life for the innocent people out there. And if you're not willing to do that, this is not the job for you.
Right. You were going to say something else?
So anyway, when I previously worked in Van Buren County, because like I mentioned earlier, I worked there for approximately 20 years. We did numerous active shooter trainings, and actually during the summer when our schools was shut down, we actually went inside our schools and actually trained for that particular situation. And so I think a lot of law enforcement agencies around this area or whatever do the same thing, but there's no reason or whatever that those officers there should not have been prepared.
How do you ride the line between in inmate care? You know, you've got some that say they deserve bread and water, kind of that line, or some people might feel on the other end of things, it's more of a college dorm kind of atmosphere. How do you ride that line between the two, or should it be tilted heavily towards one or the other?
Well, so honestly, I'm a Christian first and foremost, and I believe that we should treat them the way that I want to be treated. So anyway or whatever, I don't believe that we should give them 1,400 TV channels to choose from, but we should treat them like we would want to be treated there. The difference between them and us is they just got caught.
So we've got about 5 minutes here. Maybe talk to the people that are watching right now that are in Van Buren County, and why you should be the sheriff that they vote for on August 4th.
Well, so I'm the Republican nominated candidate for the office of sheriff. All of my experience in law enforcement, my approximately 24 years of law enforcement experience has came approximately 20 years of that from the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department. I was the chief deputy in Van Buren County for 9 of those years. I currently work in White County for the White County Sheriff's Department, where I'm the administrator over the sex offender registry and also a captain over the criminal investigations division. I've been a patrol sergeant and also a detective for the agency as well. For the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department, I've not only been chief deputy, but I've wrote the department's policies and procedures, and I've worked on their budget. I've pretty much held every position within that department other than being the cook or the jail administrator. So that is why I'm the best candidate for the office of sheriff in Van Buren County.
Mark Evans, candidate for Van Buren County Sheriff, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
And we thank you for joining us as well here on BLTV Channel 6. We want to remind you that Thursday, August 4th, 7 p.m., live election coverage here at Channel 6. We'll be covering 6 counties that night. And also, not only on Channel 6 or 306 HD on the BLTV lineup, we'll have Facebook Live on our Ben Lomond Connect Facebook page, and then also be live on our Ben Lomond Connect YouTube channel. So many different ways to be able to catch our coverage. We thank you for watching this interview. Stay safe.